Yo, welcome to Sprawl and Brawl. It is episode number 65. 65. That's a lot of talking about MMA and the UFC and miscellaneous fighting stuff. Bunch of other fighting stuff every Thursday night, September 14th. This particular night here in 2017. I am Wild Matt. I am all alone today. No Steiner. Probably no Steiner next week as well. Maybe we will have Curbs here next week, though. No, I'm not holding my breath. My breath? My breath? Something. I'm not holding something, that's for sure. Not holding Curbs in my arms every night. Or every week, I should say. Megascorcher.com. Go check that site. Yep, that website. Go check it out. VODs, MP3s, Megascorcher.com. It's all there. You can also find our podcast feed on that website if you like doing that thing manually. Or you can just go on Apple Podcast or whatever app you use and search Sprawl and Brawl. We're there. And we air live on our channel Megascorcher TV, which can be found on YouTube, Twitch, and Mixer. It's all Megascorcher TV. So go like and subscribe on our YouTube as well if you want to do that. Alright, let's go on to the first stuff here that we usually start with. The MMA results. I watched a few MMA events over this last week. There was one in Quebec Friday night. Start at 7:30. The main event was pretty cool. I guess it was a close fight. 3 rounds. What fight do I actually remember? Let's see. Well, this guy who, I guess he stands out because like 2 or 3 fights ago, he kept punching after the ref was clearly telling him to stop, and not only telling him to stop, but like also like grabbing his arms and being like, "Stop punching, man!" And then he got DQ'd, and he actually lost a fight where he clearly won. Statya Gavrilovic, or whatever the hell his name is, he fought a long 2 rounds there. He actually cut Falcao over his eyebrow in the first round. It looked pretty bad in the first round. They let him keep going, and then the second round, I don't really feel like the cut got any worse, and they stopped it. So I don't. Sure. Falcao was probably winning the second round, to be honest. Heading into the third round was probably tied, but the doctor stopped it. TKO, cut. Yeah, it was a pretty bad cut, to be honest. Is there anything else on this card that stood out to me? Stand out. Oh, Keith Lee, that's right. The younger brother of Kevin Lee won his fight via TKO. Also, a doctor stoppage after the first round. He could not respond. He was pretty much knocked out, I think. He looked bad in the first round, so I would not be surprised if, he was just not feeling good, or just not feeling it, and was just like, I can't continue. Just screw that. I'm going to get my ass kicked if I keep going out there, which is not all that bad of a move. He pretty much did get destroyed. There's a lot of good fights, but nothing that really stood out except for that. UFC 215, there's a few fights that got canceled, like right beforehand. The main event, Ray Borg and Demetrius Johnson, gone. And if you look at the poster, it's funny because Magny and Dos Santos were on the poster. They were like at the bottom. They got shifted up. It looks so empty. The revised poster. My Jesus, cannot talk today. That's what happens when you're all alone and you talk for over an hour. All right. Cajun Johnson started the card off with a KO in the third round. Pretty good KO too against Adriano Martins. And Arjan Bullar, he is a Canadian Indian who is friends with Jinder Mahal. Apparently Jinder was supposed to walk him out, and he said that he couldn't because something with Florida or something with Texas and the Hurricanes. That sucks. It would have been all right to see Jinder walk out, the UFC dude. I wonder if WWE would actually let him do that, though. I wonder if it is actually hurricane related, because where does Jinder live now? Who does he have that would be in Florida? Is it him? It's him, isn't it? No, I don't know. But that was the excuse. That's what Buller said about it. Anyways, that would have been on the prelims of the UFC Fight Pass, so I don't know how many people would have watched that. Anyways, maybe next time he can fight on free TV. He did win. I did not watch that fight though, sadly enough. I only got in for the 2 co-main events of the TV card. I saw the Cajun Johnson KO after the fact during the replays. I thought it looked pretty cool. But Sarah Moras defeated Ashley Evans Smith with an armbar in the first round. And Sarah pretty much, she was dominating the whole fight. It's kind of surprising. I was expecting more out of Evans Smith, but hey, the armbar looked sick and it was a pretty good fight. And then Kathleen Vieira defeated Sarah McMahon, which also surprised me with an arm triangle choke in the second round. I thought they were both the underdogs. I could be wrong. I'm not exactly looking at the odds all the time. But, yeah. Oh, hey, you know what's sad? I don't have this anymore. Whoop. Okay. I guess okay, I'll just do this. Check this out. Okay. No. Yeah. Okay. And then I'll do that a little bit. And then not a little bit. And then find the middle. There it is. Cool. And then I can do this too. All right. Okay. Anyways. My audio listeners right now are just like, damn, this guy. Stop fooling around with whatever you're fooling around and talk about some UFC. God damn it. All right. I will. And this was probably my favorite fight of the night. Jeremy Stevens annihilated Gilbert Melendez's leg. Pretty much the whole fight, but I guess it was mainly in the first round. He kicked in the second and the third too, but damage was done after the first round. It was his left leg, which I guess is his lead leg because he's southpaw, maybe? I don't remember, but it was definitely his left leg. Right underneath his knee. It looked like he had like another knee or something. It was just a fucking other big bump right under his knee. It looked weird, kind of grotesque, something like growing out from underneath him like an alien or something, trying to escape. It looked weird. It was crazy. But Jeremy Stevens won handily pretty much because of that. I don't know if Gilbert Melendez would have won with his leg, but because the leg was out, he got destroyed the whole time. The whole time. Like the whole time. It was ridiculous. The whole 3 rounds. There's another fight like that too in the prelims. Man, I guess I did watch the Rick Glenn versus Gavin Tucker fight. Because I'm looking at the scores. It says 30-25 and 30-24. And then one fucking judge gave it 29-27. What the fuck? What the... That's ridiculous. How are you that far off from the other 2 judges? That fight was an absolute annihilation. Shame for the ref for letting that fucking fight go on. That fight could have ended in the second round. The very ending of the second round, she should have stopped it. And then the third round was more of the fucking end of the second round for another 5 minutes. Dude was getting killed. It was just ground and pound city, this fight. That's what it was. It's fucking insane. This was a local judge from Alberta, I guess. The commission, whatever. Man, that's terrible. This fight was brutal to watch. Well, I guess it was bad. It was a bad beating. It was ridiculous. He should have ended it for sure. It could have been worse. Thank God it could have been worse. Because my God, that was bad. The same with Jeremy Stevens and Gilbert Melendez. Like, at one point do you throw in the towel as a corner where you're just like, dude, the dude's getting fucking destroyed. He's not going to come back. Gilbert wasn't ever going to come back after the first round. Never. Just because of his leg. He was fucked. I understand letting him go for the second. And when you saw the second, he got destroyed some more. You're like, okay, maybe we should stop. But man, that Rick Glenn, Gavin Tucker fight was brutal. Brutal, man. That fight should have ended with a TKO. It was ridiculous that it didn't. All right. Alir Latifi and Tyson Pedro had a super boring fight. Alir Latifi pretty much stayed on the outside the whole time and landed what he could. It's kind of boring. I was expecting more out of this fight, especially out of Tyson Pedro. He's been just wrecking fools before Alir Latifi, but I guess Latifi is a little bit more of a step up in competition than Khalil Roundtree and Paul Craig. Let's say that. That's for sure. All right. Henry Cejudo looked fucking amazing against Wilson Hayes. The whole first round, he looked great. Wilson looked pretty much destroyed after the first round, and then the second round pretty much confirmed that because it only lasted 25 seconds and ended with TKO punches. He looked great, Henry Cejudo, on his stand-up. He looked a little bit like Conor McGregor, and I know a lot of people will probably hate on that, and it's whatever. It's fine. It works, right? It worked for like even Machida. It's a little bit of Machida in there. As long as you can move and evade pretty fine. That I think that's what happened to Machida. He just got older, and it caught up with him, that style, where it was just like, yeah, okay, I can't bounce like I used to and move away as easily and as fast. He just got caught, and that one time he got caught fucked him up forever. I'm knocked out. That's it. I'm done. I'm going to get knocked out some more now. All right. The main event was fucking amazing. I called this one from a mile away. The second they announced this fight, I was like, Neil Magny's going to get wrecked. And Steiner was like, nah, I can't. It's sad that he's not here. I should make a note in my notes for the show, or my show notes, as some people would call it, to call him out on it later, because I called the shit out of this one. Rafael Dos Anjos just destroyed Neil Magny until he got an arm triangle choke on the ground. It was pretty amazing because Neil Magny has an 80-inch reach, so I don't know how, but I think it was 12-inch. I think it was a fucking full foot reach advantage with his punches, and he couldn't capitalize on it, I suppose. Rafael Dos Anjos looked amazing. And then the main event, pretty boring. Amanda Nunes and Valentina Shevchenko. I thought Nunes was maybe just pacing herself at the beginning, but turned out, no. She just fought that way the whole 5 rounds. And Valentina, she argues that she won the fight, and sure, but it was so fucking close that you can't leave it like that. I could see how maybe she won the 3 middle rounds, but she definitely lost the first, and she definitely lost the 5th. That's for sure. And then the 3 middle rounds, you can call it for whoever the fuck you want. I don't even give a shit. That fight was so boring. Whatever, man. Such a disappointment, especially after their first fight, especially after Amanda Nunes' fucking wrecking spree as of late. She's been doing pretty all right. But this fight, not so good. Anyways, that's all I have to say about 215. It was an okay event. Pretty much gimped by injuries and all that stuff, because JDS versus Ngannou was supposed to be on this card, and then what else was supposed to be on this card too? Johnson and Ray Borg for the featherweight or flyweight title, I should say. And then there was another event going on at the same time as UFC 215. I watched a little bit of it, actually. I think I missed maybe the first fight, but I got to watch the replay the next day. And there's a lot of fucking interesting fights on this card. Joe Riggs was actually scheduled to fight some Canadian dude, I think, for the lightweight title. But Shoney Carter was the last second replacement. Shoney Carter versus fucking Joe Riggs in 2017 in Canada for a title. That's ridiculous. And Joe Riggs predictably won. He just wrecked him, grounded and pounded him for the majority of the 2 rounds that it lasted. Jesse Arnett defeated Johnny Bedford. It was not great, not bad of a fight. It was competitive, but I was expecting more out of that fight, to be honest. Chris Calades defeated Keegan Oliver. That was an okay fight too. Nothing too amazing, but like for what it was, and another MMA card happening in the same province. Like Medicine Hat is north of Edmonton by about like maybe 4 or 5 hour drive. So that's just crazy that it's there's 2 MMA events in the same province at the same time. I watched Tough 26. It was Montana something versus, oh man, what were their names? I didn't even take any notes, because here's the thing. I do not like the in-house drama this season. I don't like the in-house drama this season. There should be more of it. No, like there's really nothing. My favorite girl in this season literally said like one word this whole fucking time. Maybe 3 words because of the bowling segment. They showed her bowling and she said stuff. So cool. But it was Ariel Beck versus Montana Stewart, and I was just all in on Montana Stewart, and I knew it was going to be a short fight, so I had to cheer for one of them because it was like 10:50 by the time the fight started, so it was already 50 minutes into the episode, so there's only 10 minutes left at most for a fight, so I knew it wasn't going to go the full 10 minutes, so it didn't. It went pretty short. Montana Stewart just pretty much punched Ariel in the face until she was like, oh, I can't take it anymore, and then they went to the ground and she choked her out and she tapped. Like, the fights are okay. It's just I don't know how much more I can watch of this season. Like, I just wish they would tell me the fight will start at this time. Tune in. I might watch the coaches challenge. That might be the most exciting thing that happens this whole season. All right, the news this week. John Jones got stripped of his title. The B sample got tested. It's also positive. That's not a surprise. And DC got reinstated as UFC champ. That's my thoughts about it. It sucks for everybody involved. This sucks for everybody involved. The UFC, John Jones, DC especially. It's terrible for him. But, now everybody's still going to hate on him. I know that a few people are probably going to flip and actually be like, no, it's okay. It's not his fault, man. This shit happened twice, Fucking sucks for him. But that's not how the majority is going to feel. That's for fucking sure. So it sucks. It sucks for everybody, man. Like, what fight do you book next? Like Gustafsson, that's the thing. DC's fought everybody. John Jones has fought everybody. It was just so long ago. It's so long ago, so it could be like fresh-ish. Yeah, I don't know. Joanna Jacek, though, got added onto UFC 217 against Rose Namajunas. And that's the main... that's the Madison Square Garden event. That's in New York City. And that's a good fight. And that card is getting stacked. There's 3 title fights on that card. And there's a bunch of other fights that look super amazing. So if you're in New York, I mean, I wouldn't really travel too far for any UFC event, but that's right. Mickey Gall got added to UFC 217. He is fighting Randy Brown. He is 9-2 in his professional MMA career, 3-2 in his UFC career. See, Randy Brown does not sound that familiar to me because I know a few other Browns in the UFC. So, Nick Newell has ended his retirement and has signed with LFA. Nick Newell, I think he was 9-0 before he fought against Justin Gaethje in what was known World Series of Fighting at the time. And he has like half an arm on one side. I think it's his left arm. He has like a little baby hand on like one side. Like it's weird looking, but he's a pretty good fighter. Oh, he's fought a few times after Justin Gaethje. There you go. I kind of forgot about those fights. So yeah, he was 11-0 heading into that Justin Gaethje fight that he lost. That fucking fight was amazing. Justin Gaethje killed him. But that's Justin Gaethje, what can you do? That's what he does. Now he's with LFA. Cool. Ray Borg and Johnson got moved to UFC 216. That's the next pay-per-view, which, if I am not mistaken, is... Oh, man, I forgot. Is it in September or is it the beginning of October? October 7th. Okay, so the beginning of October. That's Ferguson versus Lee, and we're Doom versus Lewis. Looks like they put it as the co-main event right now. I would just put it as the third. Just put it as the third fight. Fuck it. Just keep those 2 fights at the top. All right. Conor McGregor is being sued for UFC 202 press conference after he threw that bottle, or actually he threw a can that hit somebody. And I think, man, I wish I should have gotten all the info, and I don't want to look it up now, but I think like his bills were like $7,000 or $9,000 or something like that for his medical bill, whatever the hell he sustained, and he's looking for, oh man, I forget how much money, but it was some weird amount of money that he determined from his Diaz and McGregor fight that this happened at, which this was the second one, yes, because it was 202. This was the second fight. He like divided the amount of hits that he took per minute to make up how much money he took in this, which doesn't make any sense. Like if you're a judge and you look at that, like what does the fight have to do anything with the bottle throwing? Like it's so weird. I don't know. We'll see what happens with this. I'm sure he'll get something. He should probably just get his medical bill covered and maybe a few dollars here to just, do something, have some fun. Thiago Alves is out. He got injured, an undisclosed injury, and Mike Perry is now going to fight against Alex Reyes at UFC Pittsburgh, which is literally happening this weekend in 2 days. And this news came out 2 days ago. This came out this week, so Reyes doesn't even have 1 week's notice. But I'm sure they have a replacement plan for most fights nowadays. So when this kind of shit happens, they're prepared. Except when it's a title fight, I suppose, because they're just like, we gotta prepare this and book it and sell it. Jesse Taylor was also flagged for a USADA violation this week, and his bout versus Bilal Muhammad at UFC Sydney has been pulled. So that sucks because Jesse Taylor, if you don't know, he won the last season of Tough, which was the redemption season, which featured past members of the Tough reality show on it. And this card's in November, just an FYI in Sydney. So yeah, it just sucks because his first season of Tough, he fucked up by going to a hotel that was owned by the Fertitas, the same owners as the UFC, and he like trashed a hotel room and like I don't know, he was just drunk and fucking up shit, and that was the wrong place, wrong time to do it, and he got pulled from his finale fight of that season of Tough, and he's just been fighting indie cards since then, and now here he is in the UFC in his first official fight. That's not the Ultimate Fighter finale or Ultimate Fighter house fight, and here you go. He gets tested positive for whatever the hell it was. We don't know yet. This is pretty fresh news. I think it came out yesterday, so that sucks. And Dustin Poirier versus Anthony Pettis got added to UFC Norfolk. That's November 11th, and that's the main event. Dustin Poirier and Anthony Pettis. I feel like Anthony Pettis is going to kill him. It's going to kill him, and if I'm wrong, that sucks, because I don't want to be wrong about that, because I love Anthony Pettis. I've been a big fan of his for a long time, ever since WEC, ever since I've known him. He's awesome. He's amazing. All right, so I think that's the news for this week, but you know what? I didn't really look up the news in the last 3-4 hours, so let me just look at the news real quick. Oh, hey, John Jones issued a statement about his failure. Gilbert Melendez posted a picture about his leg. It seems to be doing better. Awesome. That's good news. Max Holloway says that he's waiting to get a new contract before making his first title defense. Awesome. That's always good news. There's nothing really in terms of new news today or in the last couple of hours, except for this John Jones thing. He denied blah blah blah. Dude, the truth is I would never do steroids. I put that on my children, and I put that on my heavenly father. Heavenly father, capitalized H, capitalized F. Yep. Okay. Cool. Thanks, John. And this weekend is a pretty packed event, or a pretty packed weekend in terms of events going on. Is this weekend No Mercy, or is that in 2 weeks? I'm just going to look that up real quick before I talk about MMA. Go into some wrestling for no reason, because that's how my mind works. September 24th, it's not this weekend. But hey, Vince McMahon got fucking headbutted in the head by KO. Kevin Owens. That's pretty ridiculous. It's pretty silly. There's no reason for that to happen. KO could have just given him a frog splash. Or no, maybe not the power bomb. I feel like the frog splash would have been enough. Anyways. All right. So there's a Kombache Americas this weekend, Friday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's on Fight Network Canada. So I assume that everything that's on Fight Network now, they renegotiated the contract so that it will also be on Fight Network, which is awesome news because I don't want to get Fight Network or the Fight app. I like the Fight app. It's just I would rather get it on Fight Network if I can because my Fight Network feed looks pretty amazing. So my legal one, by the way, don't go crazy. It's Bell 5 Alt TV. It's pretty nice. So yeah, that's on Friday. That's from Mexico. Mexico, something like that. One championship is on Saturday morning at 9:30 a.m. That's the one from Asia. I think this event might be taking place in Singapore. I am not too sure. But that's also on Fight Network if you're in Canada. I'm assuming it's on the Fight app as well for other regions like the U.S. I have no idea where one championship airs in the U.S. Because I have a hard time fighting in Canada. The last few one championships have not aired on Fight Network, which was weird. Where is this? Jakarta Convention Center? Jakarta. Where the fuck would that be? Jakarta. Indonesia. Damn, I completely over my head that one. All right. UFC Fight Night, Rockhold versus Branch is also on Saturday. 7:30 p.m. All the Fight Pass, or all the prelims, I should say, are on Fight Pass if you're in Canada, and then the main card is on TSN. So be aware of that. I think it's on 2 or 5, TSN 2 or 5, one of those two. But I'm actually going to watch Canelo Alvarez versus Gennady Golovkin Saturday. That's a boxing fight, and it's a pretty big boxing fight. I'm looking forward to it. Gennady Golovkin might actually beat Canelo Alvarez. That would be good. I think that would be pretty awesome. I would love to see that. I love either way. If it ends in a knockout, I'm happy. But I would rather be Gennady, to be honest. I love Canelo too, but whatever. He's pretty powerful. I just want to see a KO. How about that? But I won't be home. I'll be at a wedding, so that kind of sucks. But also kind of fun. I'll just watch it the next day and try to avoid Twitter and all that goodness this weekend. But yeah, that'll do it for this show. Thanks for tuning in, guys. See you next week.